Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to do a 5 or 6 minute video talking about some of the news coming out this week and talking a little bit about this weekend. Let's start with Hamza Shiraz now. Turki Al-Sheikh came out and said, I want to see Hamza Shiraz versus Canelo Alvarez in 2026. I think that's a great fight. I think it's a bit hard to make yet. We've got to see how Canelo goes against Crawford. I think the only way Hamza Shiraz versus Canelo, I think the only real beneficial way for Hamza Shiraz to verse Canelo is if Canelo has all those belts. Hamza Shiraz, it's probably more risk than reward to fight a Canelo that has no belts. I know it's a big money fight, but you're almost getting nothing out of it. That almost ties in with the news that came out today. The undercard for Canelo versus Crawford. Turki Al-Sheikh has told Mike Coppinger that he's hoping to deliver Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez and Jarrell Miller versus Jared Anderson. They're good fights. They're great fights. I want to see Christian Mbili versus Canelo as well. There's Christian Mbili, Hamza Shiraz, and Canelo are the peak of super middleweight, I think, in my opinion, right now. You might be able to throw Charlo in there after maybe one or two more fights. He's got to sort of prove himself again in the division. He's been away for a while. Obviously, he performed well in his last fight. We were supposed to see him versus Caleb Plant. We might still, but I think Charlo is just not there yet because of the break. But another big result, and I think he's right there. What else do we have in the news today? Edgar Berlanga was taken to hospital. I think it was precautionary after yesterday's fight. There was also footage coming out of Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney, and Richardson Hitchens yesterday at the event backstage and on the floor of the event, just going at each other. They're almost selling a fight that doesn't need to be sold. I'm already sold. I think you're either in the camp of I want to see Devin Haney return, or you want to see Brian Norman Jr. do what he did to Yin Sasaki, but to Devin Haney because you're not a Devin Haney fan. And to be honest, I think if you had asked most people if this fight was made, who would win 4 or 5 months ago, I think most people would say Devin Haney. I think if you've asked people now, I think most people would say Brian Norman Jr. I think that's the hype train that people are on with Brian Norman Jr., and I think that's how high his stocks have risen, and I think he deserves it, to be honest. I think he deserves to go into this fight as favourite. I think he'll beat Devin Haney. Obviously, it's still a while away. We'll see what happens. All right, that's about all the news that has come out today. Alberto Puello versus Subriel Matias. It does sound as though they're going to make that a rematch. The other fight that I spoke about it yesterday, Imam Katia versus David Morrell. No sort of speak about it's going to be a rematch, but I think I said in the video yesterday that it was a robbery, and I didn't know whether that was just my opinion or most of the people. And seeing last night and today, I think it's most people's reaction to that fight. I haven't seen many people that say David Morrell deserved to win that fight. And I think a rematch would be more than fair. I still think Imam Katiev's stocks have risen enough in that performance that he can get another big fight anyway. So I don't think there's too much to worry about there. It is annoying that Imam Katiev now has a 1 in his loss column when he probably doesn't deserve it. He deserves at least a draw, but I gave him that fight. He fought just as well, if not better, than David Morrell and scored a knockdown. How have you given that to David Morrell? It's beyond me. So that basically covers the weekend. Katie Taylor, I saw, she said that she's going to, she might retire, she might fight on, but she definitely knows one thing for sure. She doesn't want a 4th fight with Amanda Serrano. That's fair. I don't want to see a 4th one. I think we've seen everything that those two girls can deliver and more. And that chapter's finished. That story's closed. Let's see what Amanda Serrano has coming up. Let's see what Katie Taylor wants. Katie Taylor retires. I think that's fair. I think I would almost implore her to retire. She's not going to get a bigger high in her career than she has now. She made big money. She's possibly level with Clarissa Shields, if not past her in the greatest woman fighter of all time. I think she's brought everything. Amanda Serrano, I would expect to continue. She won't want to finish her career off 3 losses, basically. This weekend, possibly the biggest weekend of boxing all year. And that's a big statement considering the weekend of boxing we just witnessed, because that was a great weekend of boxing. But we have Usyk versus Dubois 2, Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the World. That's always the biggest event ever in boxing. Nothing can beat the Heavyweight Championship. Yes, some one-off bouts have beaten it. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. But throughout the years, it's the heavyweight. That's the big talking point. I will make videos separately all week to talk about each event and each fight. But we've got Usyk versus Dubois 2, Lawrence Okolie versus Kevin Lerena. We have Manny Pacquiao's return against Mario Barrios, Tim Tszyu rematching Sebastian Fundora, Isaac Cruz rematching Angel Fierro, and we have Bam Rodriguez versus Cafu in Texas. I mean, big weekend of boxing. Bam is probably going to be the forgotten item this weekend. For the number 7 pound for pound, I think it's been a bit hard done by. That was a bit of a poor scheduling. I don't think many eyes will be on him. He probably didn't expect Manny Pacquiao to make a grand return. I think without Manny Pacquiao's return, it almost might have been level with Tim Tszyu's card, as well as Bam, equal eyes on each. But Pac-Man's just got that I've got to tune in factor. So I want to see Bam on a big card, though. I would have liked to have seen Bam Rodriguez on the undercard of Usyk versus Dubois. Imagine that being the co-main event, but that is how it goes. So that is the weekend's action. Making previews all week. Definitely tune in. If you missed the videos that I made over the weekend talking about the fights individually, go ahead. Look, the headline of the weekend is Hamza Shiraz. He's going to be the talking point. But this week, the talking point is Usyk versus Dubois. Leave your thoughts in the comments below of what we talked about today. Like, subscribe if you are new, and I'm out of here, guys. See ya!